If you get to watch this video, you probably realize that this recording was pretty much during the Super Mario Galaxy movie that's coming out. And by the time that this video was actually done and uploaded onto my channel, then guess what? It would have probably been after when the movie was released. But speaking of Super Mario Galaxy specifically, or if I should be very more specific, Super Mario Galaxy 2, there is a special indication and also some crazy connection that is probably that some people may actually not notice about. Connecting with the ties, especially with Super Mario 3D World, wherever if anyone actually has the Wii U version, which was originally put in, before, of course, the deluxe version, which was originally then been put into the Nintendo Switch 1 version. So, let's talk about it. Sup my awesome mad lads, my name is Madok and welcome back to another Mad Theory. Yes, it's been a very long time since I've done a Mad Theory, yes I know. But speaking about the original game itself, Super Mario Galaxy was actually probably one of the most, if not probably the most favorable with some Mario fans, especially when it comes to the platforming game industry. Due to its crazy, with its awesome gameplay mechanics along with its 3D gravitation. Now, here's the thing about me. The thing is, I actually did not get the first Super Mario Galaxy game on the Wii first. I actually got Super Mario Galaxy 2 first, and then years after that, I actually got the first one second. And to be very fair with you guys, I actually kind of like Super Mario Galaxy 2 more than I actually did with Super Mario Galaxy 1. Super Mario Galaxy 2 actually did provide at least a bit more content that was at least a little bit more fun and challenging to actually provide. While I know that the exact same thing happened with Super Mario Galaxy 1, but I just never really found it that real satisfying enough to me to actually feel like to be, you know, very satisfactory. Still, the first game is pretty good nonetheless, and I can understand why a lot of people actually do love it. But then again, in my opinion, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is pretty much my personal favorite Super Mario Galaxy game. But the one thing that actually really intrigued me the most, especially when you actually complete the game a few times where you actually have to beat Bowser twice in a row in the final battle, you actually get to collect these particular new items, new collectibles for the game, specifically green stars. Now, technically, green stars were also a thing back in Super Mario Galaxy 1. This actually used to happen a few times where if one Luigi actually gets kidnapped or gets put into a different galaxy that he's trapped in, and you basically have to find him in one of the secret locations that he's been hidden in. Once he does that, he will probably either give you just a regular power star, like in the Ghost Mansion for example, or pretty much gives you also a green star in particular. Green stars are a very interesting power source, very similar to a regular power star in the Super Mario Galaxy series. There are, of course, other particular power stars that you could actually obtain, such as the smaller silver stars, where basically you just have to collect 5 of them in order to actually, you know, make into a regular power star. Then is, of course, the red power star, which basically you actually involved with a new specific challenge that you actually have to do for this red Luma in Super Mario Galaxy 1, collecting all purple coins in order to actually attain this red power star, and the only way you could actually do that is the red star item. The red star specifically actually transforms you into Red Star Mario or Flying Mario, and this ability actually gives you the power to literally fly, which in the end, unfortunately, I can understand why people loved this power up because they never actually added it back in Super Mario Galaxy 2. But regardless, it was only just a one-off thing, I guess, by the looks of things, just so you could obtain the red power star. In Super Mario Galaxy 1, there wasn't really that many green power stars that you could actually collect in the first one, but in Super Mario Galaxy 2, you can. After when you actually beat Bowser's twice in a row with the final battle, you actually get, this is specifically a secret message that you get from one of the green Lumas in Starship Mario. And once you actually complete that, you'll get a secret ending from where Baby Luma actually carries on and moves in with Rosalina, about where the next chapter of Mario's journey actually begins with the green stars. This was the most fun challenge I have ever actually did, and I pretty much gathered up every single power star except for 2, which, by the way, I literally recently just did in March. This year, I literally got out my Wii to actually get the prank star comment for Grandmaster Galaxy, and I can tell you this was the freaking hardest level, and it still is, whether I'm gonna complete this or not when you get to hear this story in this video. But trust me when I tell you, that level is hard. When trying to do the perfect run challenge in this particular level, trust me, I tried it out a few times when I first got it, and oh my god, it was difficult as hell. I don't know if I'll be able to actually complete this by the time when you hear this story in this video. And hopefully I'll also be able to collect the final 2 green power stars in order to 100% Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii. But yeah, you can obviously tell that in my expression on my face, I am actually a huge fan when it comes to the green power stars. The green power stars was one of the special treats of mine ever since when I've heard that you can actually gain more power stars in order to get it. But the fact that they are all in green just makes it all the more interesting and more special to me. Not just because that they just, they're green like Luigi, for example, but it just, some cases, they are basically located in hidden areas of all the different levels that you've actually played in. And trust me when I tell you, there were some pretty hard locations that a lot of people, that even including myself, for example, thought that they were the most hardest locations to freaking point out. Some of them are just very easily and just literally out of the open, where some of them are just literally hard that you can just be able to hear that twinkling sound that is literally could be right next to you, or you have to get in some place that is going to be heck of hard just to be able to get it. Regardless, I actually enjoyed that challenge until just now getting into the Grandmaster Galaxy to finally unlock the prank star comet there. That's just going to be one of the many problems that I'm going to finally have now, which, not exactly looking forward to it, but still, I'm still enjoying it nonetheless. But there's also one specific thing that I do want to mention about the green stars in particular. These green stars aren't the only areas that show up specifically in the Super Mario Galaxy game series. There is also another game that literally exactly binds in with this. Well, sort of. If you may think of it as canon or not, just like how a lot of people say that not every single Mario game is canon, because that is true. Every single Mario game is completely different to their own counterparts, which is absolutely confusing. But which game am I actually talking about specifically, you might be probably asking? Well, my friends, I'm talking about, as I said from the beginning, Super Mario 3D World. Whether you have the original version on Wii U or the deluxe version on the Nintendo Switch 1, which also includes the additional bonus story of Bowser's Fury. And of course, as you notice, originally speaking, if you have the original game or just play the original version of the deluxe version of the game on Switch 1, you'll notice that there are 3 collectibles that you have to basically get through every single level. Even sometimes in the question box challenges that you actually have to do. And guess what items that you basically have to collect in order to progress through each different level? That's right, green power stars. I know, right? This is insane. I mean, how on earth has it actually come to this very point that first off you have 3 green stars, you collect them all 3 in Super Mario Galaxy 2, but the same thing applies when playing Super Mario 3D World. 3 green power stars for each level too? Really? Like, what is actually going on here? Why on earth would they actually bring back the green power stars for this specific game? And though in this case, even though they may technically act as just regular collectible items, just like how they have the star coins for the new Super Mario Bros. Series, for example, or even perhaps using the prank star comet medals from Super Mario Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2. Or whatever any other item that's basically just a plain collectible item, but can also use for any other benefactors. So why on earth would Nintendo be able to decide the decision of bringing back the green power stars not just for Super Mario Galaxy 2, but for Super Mario 3D World? I mean, to be honest, originally speaking, when I just first noticed that myself, I was just like plainly thinking it's like, oh, they actually just brought it back, but why did they ever actually do that? It never actually cleared my head into the point up until this instant. Well, I guess you could also consider the fact to also this reason right here. If you do remember the fact that the Sprixies, which are these little people that you have to save in the Sprixie Kingdom that Bowser actually kidnaps, are these little fairies called Sprixies. All of them specifically relating that you have to save them all in all 8 worlds. Until, well, of course, you then have to save all of them again by Bowser in Bowser's world, which is like a sort of like carnival, like theme park or something. But if you didn't know, once you finish the original game, you have to go back into the first world of the game. And what they actually create is like a rocket ship that takes you to the fewer special worlds. The special mushroom world, the special flower world, and then the special star world, or crown world. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And each and every single one of them actually does contain, or actually has, the Lumas. Lumas that you actually might recognize from the Super Mario Galaxy games. And that's not the other crazy part. There is also a level dedicated and even some of the enemies that might look very familiar to you from the games. You see those blue looking aliens that have those yellow spots that actually spew out, you know, those little rocks? Yes, they basically brought those back, but instead, you can't jump on their heads, you have to ground pound them instead, which is very interesting. Never thought I'd see the day where they actually become a little bit stronger, those little guys. And that's not the crazy part, they somehow they actually blow out steel cannonballs now instead of rocks. Bro, who freaking buffed these freaking creatures? They were supposed to be not that freaking strong all of a sudden. How the hell did they came up with that idea? But that's not really the be-all end-all there. Guess what? By the time when you actually reach to the level of the specific level from the very first special world, you actually get to see the Comet Observatory. Which, by the way, if I'm actually being completely honest, before I miss it, you do actually kind of get to see the Comet Observatory after the credits finish once you complete the original game, which I almost forgot to talk about. It just somehow appears out of nowhere, just literally just standing there. Like, what does that have to do with anything? How did Rosalina's Comet Observatory just appear out of nowhere and just to bring out these special worlds? Well, this is where things are gonna get crazy, and this is where the theory part comes in. I am getting the feeling that for some no apparent reason that there is a chance that both the Galaxy series, specifically mostly with Super Mario Galaxy 2 and also Super Mario 3D World. Not only just because of the green stars specifically, but also because there might be some connection that might be relating to both the Galaxy of the World of Rosalina and also the Sprixie Kingdom. Think about it, the green stars themselves are apparently just like a natural regular item collectible that you can just be able to collect just to unlock other levels in the Sprixie Kingdom. But why on earth is that? So basically speaking, these green stars are not just a power source just to be able to power not just the Comet Observatory or even Starship Mario. It also has the power to actually bring life or something like that to other levels in the Sprixie Kingdom, I believe. Well, at least that's how I'm looking at it. I mean, then again, Rosalina did state back in the day in Super Mario Galaxy 1 that these power stars do actually contain the power that can actually bring life to a lot of places, especially across the whole entire galaxy. And it seems like that the Sprixie Kingdom might be just one of them. After collecting all 3 green stars for any level and gather that many from each of them just to be able to unlock a new one, kinda makes clear sense to me when you think about it. Though in this case, Bowser never actually really wants the green stars in particular. The reason why he actually wanted the Sprixies instead of the green stars is because they actually have the power to actually build stuff, just like how they have the ability to build the rocket ships to get to the special world. This is why Bowser was specifically able to actually build the Bowser world that he had specifically, that Fairfield looking fairground show, whatever the heck you want to call it, of Bowser's World is because it was the work of the Sprixies. Because the Sprixies kind of also might have that power to actually just build that sort of thing. They're not just any ordinary fairies, they actually have the ability to actually build super quick. But where does the green stars specifically come into all of this? Well, we're pretty much giving life and unlocking all the specific areas, and pretty much that goes for the same thing when we actually go to Bowser's World next. I guess it's just probably saying that we kind of give it more power, even though technically speaking, it doesn't really need that many power to light up its, lighting show, which pretty much is already good the way how it is. So if anyone's basically thinking to themselves now that do we just basically help Bowser just to be able to beat, only just to unfortunately defeat him and just say the Sprixies? I don't think so. I mean, it seems like that the Sprixies had enough of the power to actually build this stuff for him, but they had no other choice, so what was our basic role into this? I really honestly actually don't know. Maybe if we were to actually power up the Comet Observatory more, for instance, since we do see it in the special worlds, for example, and also to unlock Rosalina, I'm not that quite sure. This kind of gives me a little few scratches on the head with more questions rather than answers at this point in time, but whether you actually really do think that Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Super Mario 3D World are actually connected in some way due to these collectible items, then I guess you could probably say that it is, but they don't really have any confirmation, and I don't think that Nintendo would actually have the confirmation to actually say something like this. At least, that's not what I think of, at least that's not what I really kind of think of anyways. A lot of people may have probably not have noticed this up until this very point as I'm actually recording this video, and to be fair, I feel like that's what it's pretty much trying to tell us. At least, I think that makes sense, if you get what I mean. But at the end of this day, I mean, I don't think we're ever going to know, and I don't think we're going to get any answers. Regardless of the fact that the green stars are my favorite collectible, seeing them bring back into 3D World is quite the treat for me as well. I mean, I can't say no to that. I'm just surprised, if any, that they actually did decide to bring back the green power stars just to be able to unlock, just regular levels in the game. Whether you can consider that they actually bring life to unlocking the levels itself, I really don't know. I mean, that is up to me and you to decide. So, yeah, what do you guys think about this? Do you actually think that Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Super Mario 3D World are actually connected due to those two items? And do they actually be able to power up not just only the Comet Observatory or Starship Mario, but to also bring life to the levels that we actually unlock while gathering them? So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, click the notification bell to never miss a video, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy. My name is Mad Dog, and may your days be mad and rad!